Well, hello guys, my name is Nick from nickstoygarage and welcome to the final day of Ford Week. Today we're doing the Ford Capri Hot Rocker number 67. This magnificent looking car I just saved for last because I think it turned out the best. But first, this. If you want your chance to win this Burago Ford RS Cosworth, go to the link in the description down below or on the top right of your screen. Giveaway will end April 6th, so it is tomorrow I guess. Plus, please go after this video is done, because I still want my views on this video, of course. There it comes, rolling in. The engine is supposed to jump up and down if you roll the car, but because it has a bent axle, it doesn't really work all that well. So we have to fix that. There you can see it kind of working, but not really, because the axle is bent and one of the A-pillars is bent. That's not good, is it? For the rest of the car, the base is a little bit corroded, so that will be solved by the sandblaster. The towing hook will be gone, obviously, and it has a nice, clean, white interior. And also the rear axle has the same little thingy sticking out of it, but that doesn't really do anything. So I'm probably going to switch the axles, re-straighten the front axle, but use it as a back axle, because it will never be perfectly straight. Now to take the model apart, we have 3 rivets in total to get out this model. I have 2 drill bits, one to drill a small pilot hole, so I can actually use a self-tapping screw, you see it on the left, so I can easily be taking the model apart again in the future, and one to actually drill out the rivet. So 1 rivet in the back and 2 rivets in the front. I use the rear rivet to drill out the pilot hole, so I can put a self-tapping screw in it, because in the front the posts are just too thin to put a self-tapping screw in those. Then, when that is done, I take my handy dandy screwdriver, pry open the front and rear of the car, so the base will just release. Just like that, and the engine just falls out. That's a normal engine removal procedure, obviously. When the engine is out, I can just lift out the interior, and I can also lift out the front, the windshield. It's just been held in place by a little dimple in the roof, so you don't have to drill out anything. The windshield just needs a nice cleaning and polishing up. Now to remove these stubborn wheels and axles, this is my least favorite era of spring design, I guess, from this Matchbox cars. You have to pry open the spring to release the axle, because they're actually pressed while they are hauled in by the spring itself, and they are really prone to get brittle over the years, so they break really easily. I think I did 3 cars this week with this spring design, and 2 out of the 3 actually broke on me, so that's not good, is it? So then we remove the front and rear axle, and then all the parts can go to my favorite step of every restoration, and I think probably my greatest investment so far, the sandblasting cabinet. But first, this is the bent axle. As you can see, there's some nice fluff on that axle. Don't want to know what this is, I hope it's just carpet. Just removing the fluff. And then there's the axle we need to straighten out in a future bit of this video. But first, like I said, the sandblasting cabinet. So I love this thing. It takes me about 2 or 3 minutes to remove every single bit of paint. On the older Matchbox cars, the paint just flies off. This era is a little bit more stubborn, but it just comes off nevertheless. And you don't have to clean anything up after you're done with the sandblasting cabinet. Also make sure to do the inside of the car, because you don't really see a lot of the inside of the car, but I just know there is still paint left and unpainted surfaces, and I just want it to be good. So when the base is corrosion free, there was the name, and the model itself is paint free, I take my primer. I'm using a fine surface primer by Tamiya in white, 2 or 3 coats in total, leaving between 15 to 30, not 30, I gotta get 30 a second time, 15 to 20 minutes to dry between coats. Again, I use my silver chromish thingies paint sprayer. You got it from the dollar store or the Action here in Belgium for €1, and it just really sets, it does the base really justice, because I have it laying right next to me and it just looks really good. Now for those who are paying attention, I already fixed the A-pillar on this car. I forgot to record, well actually not forgot to record, I just forgot to press the record button, because I was showing it for the camera, but the camera wasn't on. Things happen. So then for color I used a Park Green from Tamiya, 3 or 4 coats, I can't really remember in total, with the last coat being a really thick coat, leaving to again 15 to 20 minutes to dry between coats or in front of my little space heater, because I do really need it this time of year. It was going to be really sunny. It is sunny on this day in Belgium, but I recorded this about 3 or 4 days ago when it was still kind of cold. So when every little paint is on, I let it dry and move on to the engine. The engine was showing its age, it was showing some white bits where the plastic was coming through. So again, the little silver chromish paint to really make it look like new again. Then for the fine detail, normally I would go with a nice chrome color for the door handles. No, I did go for a nice chrome color for door, sorry. Not paying attention. So we also went for a nice chrome color for the door handles and a nice red on the rear taillights, and obviously a white for the front and rear license plate. I already did this on the girlfriend special Ford Capri I did on Wednesday, and it just turned out really well and you guys really enjoyed this car. Since it's the last day of Ford week, please let me know what your favorite car of this week was. My personal favorite car was the Anglia, but the car that turned out the best for me was this Ford hot rocker that I'm doing today. I'm staring at it right now. The green isn't laid on the best, but the car itself is just amazing to look at. While I was rambling and asked my question of the day, I already straightened out the axle, and take my toothpick and painted in the 4 wheels. They weren't actually that bad, but there was only one wheel that was missing quite a lot of paint, so I just painted the 4 wheels so they would look even like they should. Then some hot soapy water, taking the interior, taking my toothbrush and cleaning the interior like I did my teeth, because that is the toothbrush I actually used to clean my teeth. Not my mouth. Shut up, Nick. Then I don't want the towing hook, so the towing hook has to go. My English is really good today, as you can probably tell. Then I take my polishing implement on my drill bit and polish the windshield to a nice shine. Now I did see some other YouTubers use floor polish and the window will literally looks like new. So if you have a link to some floor polish, please let me know in the comment section down below. Next and final for the reassembly, it's starting with the base. Like I said, these springs are my menace, and it took me about 10 minutes to get these on. Next, it's the front windshield and the interior, which goes back into place, and obviously the engine. Now at this point I kind of start messing up, because I took the interior back out, then I stuffed in the engine, then the interior, and then noticed that the little pivot point of the engine was actually in the interior of the car, which is not supposed to be there, Nick, obviously. Yes, it's coming together. Next, the interior goes back in, the engine... What voice was that? That was creepy, sorry for that. The interior goes back in, and then the base comes back into the car. Snapping in the front and the rear to get... Well, it wasn't really that easy, I had to use quite a lot of my chicken force. But in the end, the rear and the front too, there you can see me using chicken force, just snapped into place. This is enough to keep the model together, but I just decided to use a self-tapping screw in the rear. So if the car ever falls, it just doesn't explode in 16 million pieces. There goes a little self-tapping screw, so it can be easily taken apart in the future if I ever want to redo anything on this car. So when the model is back together, I quickly show off its drive function, and the engine works. It's lovely, it comes up and down like it should. So after this video, let's take a look at it before the restoration, when it was still another shade of green, one black wheel, a de-chromed engine, a tow hook, a front bent A-pillar, and things like that. And let's take a look at it after the restoration right now. Now I want to thank every one of you to actually that have watched Ford week. It really is my comeback. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in a future video. Bye.